Hello, good morning, Internet. Here we are ready for our second game today in our quarterfinals in our Five Nations Roller Derby Playoff Weekender. I'm McGee and I'm joined with...
MC, hi, thanks for having me here. This is my first time announcing at Five Nations. I'm rather excited.
Good. Keep that energy because we're going to need it. We had an exceptional first game kicking off our tournament this morning. It's 11. Hopefully you're all on second breakfast. I know North Wales were very energetic. They're just to our right. You can't see it quite on screen. They're hidden away in the bottom corner. They'll be playing in purple. What you can see in that top corner is Sheffield sporting the orange. We've got a few moments before we actually get our first true whistle. So how about we quickly run through our rosters?
Sounds like a good plan to me. Let's start off with Sheffield. You can see them in the corner of your screen. So today, Sheffield have got 0-3 is Wince. We've got 1-1-1-1. That's Gempar State. 1-2 is Artemis. 1-9 Justan. 2-0-3 is Kirk. 2-2 is Iron Mermaiden. 3-2 Edgar. 3-3 Betty. Number 4 is ADH Demon. 4-1-8 is Gemma. 4-9-6 Cherry Thunder. Number 5 is Petra. Number 6 is Lunatrick. 6-4 is Kimber Scout. 7-1-3 Rosensplats. I like that one. 7-7 is Comic Slams. 8-0 Wildcat. 8-4 is Machine Gunby. 9-5 Nyx. And 9-6 Pyrox Ida.
Nice. And as you mentioned, as you can start to see on this lineup, we've got in purple North Wales Roller Derby. We've got 1-1-6 Nick Fury, 1-6 Robusta, 1-6-2 Merrill Streak, 1-9-7 Maz, 2-1-2 Cat Van Dam, 2-4-7 Basket Case, 3-0-0 Slamwise Bambi, 3-5 Megapixel, 4 Nessie Pinkman, 4-0-4 Slide Eye, 5-5 Gadgets Girl, 5-7-2 Titanium, 6-1-2 Max Payne, 6-4 Angel with Diamonds, 7-3 Brewski, 7-7 Insidious, 8-2 Cobbers, 9 Skatey Perry, 9-0-9 Gog Complex, and 9-4 Lethal Injection. Look at that, perfectly timed, seconds to go before our starting whistle of this second game this morning.
Brilliant, I can see the skaters lining up. They're ready to start. They're eager, we're eager.
Well, I know I am. I'm glad you are. Hope you are at home as well. Right, we have representing the hometown of Sheffield, number 77, that's Comic Slams.
And for North Wales, we've got 1-6-2 Merrill Streak. And here they go.
Right, well, that's Sheffield with the first lead of the game, straight away.
And Merrill's been knocked out there, coming back in. Or Sheffield trying to draw the cut, but not succeeding. And Merrill's out the pack as well.
With that, unfortunately, Sheffield's demo was reset on the outside edge. Nice drag back by Wales's blockers. Call off there to prevent Wales getting any points. Let's see what we got for that first scoring pass for Sheffield.
Looks like 2 points. 2 points for Sheffield, so early days, but a small lead for them.
Well, 2's more than none.
Yeah.
I think that's what any bench is going to say, is like, get me points, don't let them have points, you know.
Nothing to turn your nose up, 2 points there.
Yeah, true. Right, our second lineup we have for Sheffield, which is 0-3 Wince.
And for North Wales, I can't quite see all the numbers. Is that 2-4-7 maybe? Basket Case.
Well, much more intense jam this second jam now. We've barely made it past corner 1, coming into corner 2, and we still haven't defined a lead jammer just yet.
And skates coming down all over the place. A lot of contact going on here as the jammers try and fight their way through.
I'd argue, given the, well, there we go, lead to Sheffield. Just about to say, given the heat we're experiencing here in the Ponge venue, I'd argue for skaters to try to reserve their energy because they've got a whole game to still play. They're barely 2 jams in. Ooh, what a lovely apex jump there between corners 3 and 4. Obviously, we've switched camera angle now. That was quite impressive there.
And North Wales have done a star pass.
Oh, there we are. That's your first star pass of the game. We're only the second jam in.
Former pivot now with the jammer helmet cover on. Megapixel forcing the call off.
just been informed that we bear witness to a wonderful wee apex jump there by Wins for Sheffield. Bless them, no rest for the wicked. They were just in the Junior Roller Derby World Cup, but like a month or so ago.
Yeah, they've come through the Sheffield Juniors. They've played with them for quite a few years, and they've actually been Sheffield's top scoring jammer of the season.
Jeez, well, there we go. I think that apex jump was fine evidence for the audience at home of what they can experience. Here we go into Jam 3. Sheffield is currently on 10. Wales are currently with no points on the board just yet. We've got 7-7 for Comic Slams as your lead jammer for Sheffield.
And North Wales have got Slamwise Barbie on track, who has also made it out.
Tough form there. Full 4 for Sheffield. And a call off just before Slamwise can even get into the back of the pack. It's a tactical play. It's always a little sad for one team to be just denied the ability to get some points. Makes perfect sense for Sheffield to do that.
But also North Wales are limiting Sheffield's scoring here. You know, Sheffield have had a lead in every jam so far, but they're still only a lead of 14 points.
Admittedly, a lead's a lead. You know what I mean? It could be 14 points, it could be 441 points, but, you know, obviously, if we get to 441 points, I think everybody needs to, where you are, a round of applause for any team like that. OK, we're going into our next jam now. We've got Wince again for Sheffield.
And North Wales have put up GOG Complex, first time as jammer.
Wince on a cheapy jump on the inside apex there. A smaller one compared to the one prior, but he got them lead.
And GOG is out as well.
Actually, GOG's actually really close in comparison to other leads Sheffield has. And we've got a bit of a race-away game. I know as our outside pack refs will not be enjoying the speed there.
And the Sheffield bench was yelling, asking for the call-off there, which Wince heard and called off in an appropriate time.
True, as you may have witnessed there, you can call off the jam sort of pretty much anywhere. So being down on the ground still counts as long as you're lead.
Yeah, can call off in mid-air as well, which might come in handy for Wince at some point.
True. 2 more points Wince managed to bank for Sheffield there, slightly extending their current score.
And this time it's Merrill Streak again for North Wales.
Comic Slams donning the star for Sheffield, finds an inside edge, and they too can do a wee apex jump, but no, not good enough. Got themselves a cut track penalty.
Merrill pushed to the outside, but manages to get the first lead of the game for North Wales.
Nice. Let's see what they can do now with this opportunity. Obviously a clean slate for them. They've got no opposing jammer racking up any points.
Power jam, yeah, brilliant opportunity. And just stays inside on the inside line there. Lunatric doing their best to knock Merrill out, but not succeeding.
Nice confident toe stop work there, gets them the full 4 for that pass.
And Merrill coming round again. How is she going to do this time?
Comic Slams has actually been released from the box, joining right at the back, getting a bit of a sort of inbounds run up to attack that pyramid of opposing purple.
Merrill's through again for another 4 points.
And unfortunately, Slams has been reset quite deeply, all the way back now to corner 2.
And so North Wales deciding to continue playing, trying to score some more points, get some more trips in.
Slams finds an edge on the inside, now bounce through to mid, trapped. We do lose one of Wales's blockers to the box. 2 wall now is all that's holding Slams back.
And Merrill, as she was recycling there, made a bit of contact with the referee, but clearly accidental, so no problem with that.
Slams, admittedly, now is out and only just beginning their first scoring pass. Wales's defence was so tight, it's a complete reversal now. It is Wales that is in control, calling off before Sheffield can score.
So that was 3 completed trips through the pack. So 12 points for North Wales there. They're really closing that gap on Sheffield. Shows the advantage of keeping those scores low in the other jams.
Highest scoring jam so far, because we started with Wales having nothing on the board. And we thought, oh yeah, like at 60, like that was a 5-point differential.
It's amazing how things can change so quickly.
Huge round of applause, though, for the previous jams. Welsh blockers getting such control there.
And Basket Case gets lead for North Wales.
Nice catch. I was lost in my admiration for what happened. Wince has removed the star for a stash. Footwork aplenty, but it has themselves reset from corner 1, dragging back to almost effectively corner 4 there.
And Basket Case makes it out the pack, and also North Wales have returned to their full strength on their track. Blocker coming back from the box.
Wince is still trying to find a way out. Wales is all on, only just found a tippy toe out on the inside edge. So Wince has now finished their initial pass and can potentially start scoring. And of course, announcer's curse, as soon as I say that, Wales calls the jam.
But 8 points for North Wales, which means they take the lead. We've got a lead change, first one of the game.
Yes, true. Look at that. We've had like a star pass, we've had a high-scoring jam, we've had a lead change. I mean, I don't know how we're going to last for the next 22 minutes of this race. I'm already exhausted, let alone with this heat.
Next 22 minutes, I think that, yeah, we've got another half after that as well.
Oh, don't remind me. Like, I'm trying to pace myself at the moment.
So we're lining up for next jam, Jam 6. Jam 7 rather. Jam 7 we're just starting, and we've got Slamwise Barbie for North Wales.
And it would appear that we've got ourselves Comic Slams being deeply reset back to corner 4, but they found an opportunity on the midline. Striking the way through, a pivot and a blocker. Oh, big check by Wales's pivot there, and a hefty reset back to mid lane. Now that would be
Sheffield blocking hard here, but not entirely legally, and North Wales get out for the lead.
nice. Big round of applause though for Maz, because this is the reason why they've currently got control of this jam. Again, another reset from Maz on Sheffield's pivot, and I think I saw that they decided to stash whilst Wales's jammer continues to whiz around. We have had
4 points already for North Wales.
We have had a start pass to 5 Petri, your current pivot. They have the star, just finding their moment to don it, and yes, it's on their helmet, so they are 100% legit the jammer for Sheffield now.
And 4 points again, so that's 8 now for North Wales. Their jammer did slide past a couple of jammers on their knee, but it looks like they also passed them upright at some point, so they have secured all the points on that trip.
True, and I've got a feeling that as much as we've had a star pass for Sheffield, Sheffield are still trying to complete their initial at the moment, which is sort of like the intensity with the defence play from Wales. It's spun on a dime, very clear on those first few jams. Like Sheffield was like, yeah, we're going to score points, we're okay. And they just, the pressure's immediately on now from Wales. But
Sheffield are doing some good defence as well, and right now Slamwise is really struggling to get through that strong tripod that Sheffield have set up.
And with that, Petra finally managed to make their way out at the front from a really strung out pack, can potentially start scoring some points.
And Slamwise calls it just in time, just before Petri gets back.
I've got a bad feeling like somebody's bench is listening to me. The second I say, oh, I'm about to score some points.
And Sheffield's bench is running into the middle to probably discuss some aspect of the play there.
So no points, unfortunately, for Sheffield. Another 12-point jam for North Wales. So back-to-back high-scoring jams. Like no pressure to any other Welsh jammer. The bar has been set very high.
So it's amazing, isn't it? North Wales have gone from no points to a clear lead in 2 jams. It can change so quickly.
A second you say that, of course, like a rocket, Wince is out and lead immediately given.
But Gold Complex is also out for North Wales.
Starting to see a bit of a hustle from all of our skaters, a fast pack. Wince is already in at the back, gone past their opponents. Can they catch 404 there? That gets them at least 1 point. They're checked to the outside edge. Another downed call-off, but it counts.
And called off in time to stop North Wales from scoring any points there.
So 1 point.
Just the 1 point?
Point.
Every point
right,
counts.
is it? That's not right, is it?
That sounds right.
I don't know. I've watched Eurovision once, and that's when Lordi won. And oh well, carry on.
I'm punked.
There we go. Thank you. If you are an international viewer and enjoying this, please let us know how badly we butchered some European languages there.
Okay, going into Jam 9 here, and we've got Merrill Street on track for North Wales, and straight into lead.
It's perfectly balanced for you there with that call. We've got ourselves Gempire State donning the Jammer Star. Just one last blocker to get past. That gets them out and potentially be able to score points.
Merrill just keeping on inside the outside line there, if you see what I mean. Inside the outside line, that's where you want to be on the track.
Proper ricocheted around like a pinball from the outside edge to the inside edge to the infield. But again, another on-the-ground call-off.
And 3 points secured.
Slowly ever extending that lead. We have North Wales now on 35. Sheffield still currently on 18. Timeout being given to Wales. Sorry, my bad. Sheffield.
North Wales practicing a bit of lunging on the line there.
I feel taken back to early mid-2000s there with what looks like a knee start. If you remember them, don't sit up quickly. Your back's probably going to hurt because mine certainly does. But yeah.
Yeah, but back in the day, teams used to have a knee start to get the jam going quickly. Not necessary.
It was a two-whistle start, and basically one whistle would begin all of your blockers, and then the second whistle would begin your jammers. But of course, if there was no defined pack and everybody was taking a knee, then instantly the jammers could be released. So that's why people used to do it a lot. Thankfully, we got rid of that, just so that games can start a bit quicker.
If you remember the show Gladiators, which they're bringing back and filming here in Sheffield, by the way, it was like jammers, blockers, you will go on my first whistle, jammers, you will go on my second whistle.
I never actually got an opportunity to say that as a jam timer back in the day. Here's hoping some oranges were given out and some solid advice from Sheffield's bench. Let's see how we can switch up stuff coming out of this timeout.
5 seconds.
Real huddle start here from all players. Wince again donning the start for Sheffield.
And basket case up for North Wales.
Basket case just got checked. They're trying to find somewhere on the inside edge, tied to mid. Wince, though, finds the inside edge and he's out and lead.
Basket case finds a line around the outside and also gets out.
Nicely given a wide space by their teammates. Wince now fighting through a free wall, a two wall, a one blocker. Oh, and a cheeky Spinneroonie call off.
And that's the 4-0 jam.
True, that was the full 4 thanks to that sort of spinning around, because it's the hips that define where you are and where you exist in this sport. So as long as I can just get my hips around your hips, as it were, then that gets me whatever points you are.
So North Wales on 35, Sheffield on 22.
So creeping back with those 4 points from that prior jam. We've got Comic Slams up, down in the star for Sheffield.
And Slamwise Barbie for North Wales. It's slam versus slam.
True, that's certainly a lot of slams taking place as both fight through the impressive defense walls. We have lost Comic Slams, unfortunately, due to, I believe that was a track penalty. So we are down for another power jam for North Wales.
And Slamwise Barbie takes advantage, gets lead there, but knockdown slides on her knees, decides safest to recycle to the back of the pack.
It's always safe to be sure. You never want a cheeky tiny cut calling you out. Petra, though, doing a drag back reset on Slamwise. Slamwise is like, no, I can't. This is twice I've been reset. I'll just cash in what I've got. I'll bank what I've got.
And this means North Wales can start with a power jam.
True.
Their jam is the only one on track at the start of this jam.
And I also glanced across, you can't quite see it on stream, but we will be a blocker down for Sheffield, so it's only got a free wall of defence against whatever North Wales can bring in this next jam.
And North Wales got 3 of the 4 points available from that trip in that last jam, so slightly extending their lead.
Gold Complex has the star on for North Wales. Tried to do some sort of check on the outside. Unfortunately met Wince, who's got the pivot stripe on. 2 wall at the front now, holding Gold Complex back.
And Comic Slams has come out the box and could still get lead.
True that. Hustle on the inside. I believe, unfortunately, that looks like Comic Slams has been awarded a back block penalty.
And God Complex takes advantage and gets out for lead.
So as soon as Comic Slam sits down, the other Sheffield blocker is released. So we will have 4 blockers on track for Sheffield as God Complex comes in for their first scoring pass.
Bound to make it a bit trickier for God Complex to get through the pack.
Has been reset back and decided, I'll call it. We'll try again with a power jam lineup in the next jam. See what happens there. A cheeky 1 point, though, for their troubles.
1-0, nothing to turn your nose up at.
No, true. 39 to North Wales, 22 to Sheffield Steel. Full roster of blockers for both teams in this next lineup. Obviously, a bit of a change in who's doing what.
And we've got Meryl Streak back on for North Wales, and for Sheffield, it's Comic Slam starting in the box.
True that. Merrill tried for an inside line, but a toe stop work there. Now it's trying on the outside edge. We lose a North Wales blocker to the box, so it's 3 on 4 at the moment.
Sheffield have clearly been practicing this tripod. A lot of the time it is proving very effective, but every now and then...
Just dodged that final hip check attempt by Petra there. Gog gets the lead status. Slam is back on, manages to get out. They can potentially start scoring. Just as Gog comes around at the back, tries to find a space.
It's Meryl Streak, who it looks like has cut the track, been sent to the box.
A little bit of confusion now because it looks like Comic Slams has been awarded lead status. So, well, we're certainly going to go now. I suspect Sheffield wants to score as many points as they can whilst they have this opportunity. But as soon as I say that, the pack decides to run away from Sheffield's jammer.
Fast pack, and the outside pack referee's really having to go for it here.
Ooh, now, that was an apex jump.
Okay, so Sheffield called it off there. After securing 8 points. It'll be interesting. There may be a bit of discussion about what exactly happened with the lead call there. Perhaps the sending off of the North Wales jammer was a slightly late penalty call.
True. Well, we'll leave it to officials to officiate because we're announcers.
Absolutely.
We may have been officials, but we've got the headsets on today, so we get to sort of talky talk, not shall we say walky walk, or skatey skate. Skatey skate, as they're doing. So we are taking an official. Well, we were briefly. Are we still? We were in an official timeout. We've got a pivot line start.
Line start. So are we going to see the pivots try and put their skates on the pivot line?
Just have Kimber Scout as your lone jammer.
And Meryl Streak starting in the box for North Wales.
Kimber Scout.
Meryl leaving the box now.
Kimber got caught in a free wall. The free wall got absorbed, so they've now still sort of back in the pack as we've gone past corner 2. Gets out to get lead status just as Meryl reaches the back of the pack.
Meryl dancing around side to side and gets out, not lead.
So Kimber's now back, beginning their first scoring pass. Work their way through. One last blocker. They are out and immediately bank those points.
And call off in time, yep.
Fiscally aware there. I've earned stuff, popping it in the bank. No one else has it.
Which reduces that North Wales lead to just 5 points.
My word. 39 to 34. Did I blink?
This is an exciting game. It's so close.
I'm already tired.
Sheffield build up a bit of a lead. North Wales build up a lead. Now it's so close again.
Right. Well, one North Wales blocker is in the box. Not quite got everybody on track at the moment.
So Samwise Bambi is the jammer for North Wales.
Got Wince donning the star yet again for Sheffield. Got checked to the outside. Wisely quickly got themselves at reset.
Samwise pushing hard there, but gets knocked to the inside.
Sort of a bit of a hustle there, but Wince does find an opportunity on the inside edge. Gets themselves out, gets themselves lead.
Samwise does a star pass, quick star pass, and that's very effective for them.
Maz whizzing out, almost baton relay style, just puts their hand behind as they run away, but it was a legit pass inbounds. Unfortunately, although they managed to get round lickety-split, Maz not given the opportunity to score.
So if you've not seen a lot of Derby before, that star pass, that's a really powerful tactic. If you're struggling to get through as a jammer, you can pass the star to your pivot. True,
we've seen enough jams so far where jammers got wisely caught by the opposing team. But of course, you can only pass between sort of a jammer and pivot. This time around, North Wales have decided to call themselves a timeout, hence why you'll see all the purple skaters decide to leave the track, leaving us just with Sheffield on the pivot line.
So yeah, North Wales probably having a bit of a tactical chat. Obviously, they had a bit of a lead going. Now their lead's down to 1 point. Want to have a bit of a regroup, probably discuss what was working, what they might need to change right now.
True, you saw it only earlier in this first half. Sheffield called a timeout, bit of a powwow, came out, guns are blazing. So certainly, if whatever was said, oranges are handed out, whatever they do, because this is the thing. As much as you see the tactical game on track, you see the plays that make sense. You don't see any of the sort of the mental stuff, because obviously we don't get to listen in to a bench discuss what should or shouldn't happen.
I mean, we can imagine.
Well, we can, but we best not, because like that. I'd like to think it's all magical weirdness. I've never benched, you see. It's this weird area, this mythical zone that I've never been in. So it must all be like coded words.
Code words, interesting. Yeah.
I've heard enough things said as a jam timer on a pivot line from skaters going, you take the O, I'll do D, you go into 1, and I'm like, the Enigma machine can understand this. What are they talking about?
Let's not try those in the commentary. I think it'll blow my mind.
Right, well, our timeout has ended. Jam has begun.
We've got God Complex on track for North Wales.
And it's Comic Slams again, who got, unfortunately, proper slammed by Wales's pivot there to the outside edge.
And GOG has lead for North Wales. Maybe that chat proved effective.
the face Comic Slams me. I felt the pain of that check as they landed. So they're fighting a free wall at the front now. Doing whatever they can to try to push that wedge forward. Their jammer getting proper low to absorb stuff. Barrel rolled off the pivot, but unfortunately got reabsorbed by the front two. Check to the outside.
God Complex stuck at the back, but of course has that advantage of already having completed her initial trip.
Yes, true. We are now sort of scoring for North Wales. Slam is out and out of shot, creeping round, but yet again, as I mentioned it, the jam is called.
And God gets through, scores those 4 points, immediately does the call off. I think she's not quite sure how close to the back of the pack the Sheffield jammer was.
It's that playing safe, you know.
Yeah.
You can generally tell how close based on how panicky your entire bench is shouting, call out, and flailing their arms around is usually the giveaway I've seen. So that's 4 points in that previous jam, slightly now extending Wales' lead over Sheffield. Got ourselves Gempire State donning the star for Sheffield.
And Merrill Streak back on for North Wales.
Bless Merrill, like, pace yourself. Like, mate, you've got yourself lead and unfortunately been reset back into the pack.
That is true, but out pretty quickly. Didn't delay her too much there.
That footwork is like, I don't think I've seen Merrill in pack stay on track. But unfortunately, speaking of staying on track, it's not Gempire State who's been lost to the penalty box due to a cut track penalty.
Power jam for North Wales. How much advantage can they take here?
Hopefully, all of it, really, is basically what they'll be wanting to do.
Oh, of course.
2 wall there, 1 last.
But every time you think you've got the last one, another Sheffield blocker comes out.
I think I've been exceptionally impressed when Petra's donned the pivot style. They've basically somehow magically always been at the front, even when they were near the back.
And Petra's now a very experienced roller derby player and one of Sheffield's top blockers of the season.
Well, it's clearly the signs are all there for you at home, on track now. Like, there's Petra. Like, every time I glance at where's Wales's blocker, jammer, sorry. Oh, look, there they are, behind Petra.
And if they're not behind Petra, Petra will be getting to the front, so they're behind her pretty quickly.
Looks like the entire pack has been dragged back from corner 3 to corner 2. We have a clear penalty box at Italy now. Gempire State has managed to get back on track and is hiding the star in their hand, but unfortunately Wales are aware where they are, but have lost them.
So Merrill Streak managed 4 points so far on the board, and I think there's a few more to come from this trip, but being pushed into calling off there. Yep,
hopefully you caught that near the end though, but obviously as they called the jam, Merrill and Petra were like next to each other. Little fist bump moment, clearly admiration there of like, you've knackered me out. I'm very impressed. Why are you not on my team?
I love seeing this in roller derby, the camaraderie you often get between the teams, the admiration of each other's skills.
It's like, in this warm-up, you'll see like jammers being besties. Second that whistle goes, they're enemies. Speaking of, we have wins yet again donning the star for Sheffield.
And basket case for North Wales.
Wind's getting proper mucked in there, trying to find somewhere on the inside line, but everywhere they glance is just purple shirts, purple shirts.
Oh, basket case finding a line on the outside there. It's a tricky line to hold, but she managed it, and she's coming round to the back, starting to score some points.
True. Wince, though, has stashed the star. Possible we may have a star pass, or just confusion, because what's going to happen, you don't know.
That's it. If the other team can't see who's got the star, they might not be sure who to block.
Packweight is at the back, though, strung out, giving Wince a chance to basically get out skating backwards, but it counts.
It all counts. Nothing to stop you skating backwards.
Now, I'd be curious to know if, although Wales controlled and called the jam, did they actually manage to, they got an extra 1, it looks, in that jam, so 5 points in total for that jam.
5 points in total, nothing to be sniffed at, but of course, they did have that power jam there for a while. That was in that jam, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
well,
yes, good.
It was
the one before. It was not in that jam.
It's all starting to blend and blur.
There's a lot of excitement here.
It's true. All right, Comic Slams up on track for Sheffield.
And we've got Angel with Diamonds for North Wales, a new jammer.
And as we say that, both jammers out almost instantaneously. Slam's just ahead because they've got the speediness as they come out of those corner turns.
But Angel with Diamonds is chasing them down.
Confident strides there, setting a pace, but that pace is also being matched, unfortunately, by our entire pack of skaters. Only now just coming to a kind of a stop as we exit corner 4.
And both jammers now in the pack on a scoring trip.
Now, Slams called it, but because of the way they turned through the apex, I'd be curious to know if Angel managed to catch any points on the inside edge, and they did! 2 cheeky points because they took the inside line.
But Sheffield got 3, so Jam slightly favoured them.
So what you have to understand sometimes is, given the nature of the corners, you have to sort of look at things like a pizza wedge. But let's ignore takeout, because Sheffield have called our first official review of this half.
So if people haven't seen a lot of roller derby, what's the purpose of an official review? Why would they be calling an official review?
Well, it gives a team an ability to question something that happened only in the previous jam. So as much as we had, obviously, a fast-paced jam with both jammers being released, Sheffield wants to query something that went down. Could it be that they feel like a penalty should have been given? Maybe a penalty should have been rescinded? Maybe we got more points? Maybe they got lost points? Our wonderful producer, Stormy, has dashed infield to take notes on our behalf, because obviously we're tethered in these wonderful headsets to all this technology. And as much as we try, we can't hear what's being said in that powwow in the centre.
Could we ask them to shout?
Unfortunately not, because the way in which the rules work is discussion is had between both benches and captains from both teams with all of our referees over what, in this case, Sheffield wish to query. When it's clarified over that's what you want to bring in, anything that the opposing team want to interject, as you can can't see now, we can obviously in-house, our referees err to one side, and then they discuss together like, well, what's going on? Is that cool? Is that not cool? What do we think? And then once they've decided in unanimous decision on what is to be the answer to the question posed to them, they'll then go back and let both benches know. And once both benches know and all the skaters know, Stormy will let us know. And once we know, you at home will know.
Yeah, we should probably let on, shouldn't we? Yeah.
True, because there's the possibility that if whatever Sheffield's asked for, and like their question, they get what they wanted, then they'll get to retain their official review, which is, in general, kind of rare. It
is rare because they've got to convince the officials, haven't they? Convince the officials that they've not already made the right decision.
Or they've caught something, like, or they feel something should have flowed, like this. Maybe this penalty should be like escalated in some way or something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, our benches have been told, our skaters are reforming on track, our officials are returning to their positions. In the corner of my eye, I can see Stormy has returned to our tech base here, and they have a breakdown, quite a lengthy one actually.
Okay, so Sheffield were asking for a low block call to be made on 404. And by the way, we've got basket case jamming for North Wales. Wince is out as the lead for Sheffield. So the low block call for contact on the jammer just before the call-off at the end of the previous jam. But the officials had a discussion and decided that the contact was unavoidable, so no call was made.
And that means Sheffield will lose their official review. We've also been informed that this prior jam that was brought into question by Sheffield is the first jam where both teams had scored points this half. So, again, if you've got that square on your bingo card at hole, stamp it. But speaking of jams, we have just ended that previous one with 3 additional points to Sheffield. Apologies that we didn't give you flavour call on that, but we wanted to let you know at home how the official rule had gone down, because that can be really game-changingly important in this sport.
Absolutely. Sometimes, it might be a call that sends the opposing jammer to the box, can make a massive difference.
Sometimes it could greatly review the previous score from the jam as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're just going into jam 21.
My word.
It's going quickly, isn't it? We've got Merrill Streak on track jamming for North Wales.
And on the outside edge, with a sideways slice, is Comic Slams for Sheffield, earning themselves lead jammer status. Very excited is Sheffield's bench there, whizzing around a green flag. A little confusing there, given that's not a colour Sheffield actually skates in.
So Merrill, you might have seen, got knocked to the outside, came back in, but in the wrong location, managed to get immediately out of bounds again, and so there was no penalty there. But Merrill has dropped the helmet cover and is being sent off for a cut committed a little bit later there. So.
Yet again, I feel like I'm utterly singing their praise, but Petra being the one totally body checking Merrill at every moment. We lose Comic Slams to the outside edge from a beefy hip check. Call off downed, but as I said before, call off on the floor still counts.
Absolutely, and Sheffield with their 4 points to 0 there, closing the gap to 10 points. This is neck and neck.
I'm just I'm already exhausted. And we've got just shy of under 4 minutes left of this half.
And then we've got another half. And then we've got several more games today.
And then we've got all of
Four more games today. And then we've got more games tomorrow.
All right. I'm gonna have to have a cup of tea at half time.
So a jammer line start there. Everything's getting off. The team's getting off quickly. We've got Merrill Streak is starting in the box for North Wales.
Wint's a little confused, trying to find a line as we've sped away around to corner 3. Seems to have got themselves reset by North Wales's pivot, who got caught at the back. That's Maz yet again causing trouble for Wint's.
And Merrill returns to the track, but doesn't have the helmet cover on, which...
I suspect we might have a star stash for confusion. Yes, we did. They found an outside line whizzing away. Sheffield have managed to complete a scoring pass, though, and coming round. Pressure's on now because Merrill's effectively in Wince's rear-view mirror now, coming down the straightaway to meet the back of the pack.
But Wince calling off at just the right moment there.
I've got to... Yep, unfortunately, although the style was great from Merrill there to spin their hips around, unfortunately it was in the latter set of whistles, so it doesn't count. So no points to Wales. 2 on the board for Sheffield.
Yep, so the scoring stops at the end of that first set of 4 whistles.
That's
After
correct.
that, nothing counts.
Yeah, the second and third is, just to clarify, the jam has absolutely ended. Great play there from Merrill, but just not quick enough, unfortunately.
And 2 points on the board for Sheffield, who are fielding Gempar State as their jammer in this
yes,
one.
back on with their second time on track is Angel with Diamonds. 8 points in it, still a lot to play. Gempar's trying to find any sort of gap in that tripod of terror that Wales has put to them now. It's now turned into a 2-wall.
And Angel with Diamonds sneaks through on the inside and gets lead.
Great little play there from Wales. Gempire's only got 1 blocker left, but out of play call means they had to go passive. Both jammers now out, potentially able to score.
Yep, the blocker there got pushed too far forward, more than 20 feet in front of the pack of the majority of skaters there.
Now, you would have seen it there, and I'm just glancing, it did actually happen. This time round, with Wales having control and calling it off. But Gempire saw the opportunity and did manage to sneak past within that first set of whistles, earning themselves 2. 3 to Wales, 2 to Sheffield. So it was a lovely little play there. So that's where that tactic does work.
And that's going to be a bit disappointing to North Wales. You know, that's a 1 point differential when it could have been 3.
Now, I think if any of the North Wales jammers glance over, they can see that, unfortunately, Petra's starting this jam in the box, giving Basket Case the opportunity to have to not face Petra as an opposing skater. But they are trapped, unfortunately, behind a free wall of the remaining Sheffield blockers at the front.
And Kimber Scout is jamming for Sheffield, and he's trapped behind a 4 wall of Sheffield blockers at the back, of North Wales blockers at the back.
Yeah, it's a proper rolling wall as well. Every time I glance, somebody different's pinning Kimber in place.
It's some really nice rotation going on there.
Basket Case managed to go from into out and gets themselves lead jammer status.
Kimber Scout has tried to do a star pass to Petro to return to the track, but they cut. So the star pass, they cut before the star pass, so they've gone to the box as the jammer, and Petra remains on track as pivot.
What's great there is Petra immediately realising, I've got to react, get back, try to form a wall, try to chase down, but unfortunately, Basket Case is out a second time now. Sort of a passive, lighter wall there from Wales. Don't need to do much. Let's see what Sheffield do or don't do now.
What North Wales might decide to do is sort of just get in the way of those Sheffield skaters, make it difficult for them to block effectively.
True. They've got a proper waterfall rotation now. It's a little confusing as we watch this huddle of coloured bodies. That's the call off there. And I believe Kimber just managed to get back on track as we ended the jam. So we will not have a power jam as we go into this next jam.
No power jam, but 7 points.
Actually,
for
we
North
won't
Wales.
have another power jam
because
that's the end of the half.
Wow, that went so fast. I didn't realise we'd hit half time.
Jeez, well, we end our first half with North Wales on 68 points, 7 points for their previous jam. Sheffield staying at 52. Amazingly close for all the action we had. There's your whistle, ending the half. My word.
This could go either way.
As I hear on every sports channel, all to play for.
I know people.
It's anyone's
I know
game.
people always say that, but if one team was on 400 and the other team on 10, we'd know which way it was going. It could be anything. It could be anyone's game.
So yeah, we've got about 9 minutes before we'll actually go into that second half. You at home, grab yourself a drink, stay as hydrated because it's proper warm here in Sheffield, and it's probably proper warm for you too.
Yeah, I'm warm. I'm not on skates.
True. Well, I've been McGee,
I've been MC.
and we'll see you in about 8 less minutes for the second half of our second game today.
I'm looking forward to it.
Bye for now.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you too.
I think it's still morning, isn't it?
Let's just say it is. Let's just say it is. Like, even if it isn't, it's still morning.
Just morning. Just, yes.
Right.
We've been here a while already.
It's been a long day. I've been up crack of dawn. It's apparently 11:40. I must be on. If you're at home, you need to be on third breakfast, first lunch right now, first brunch.
But I tell you what that means. It means these games are running to time.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Look at the organisation. So, yes, speaking of running to time, we're going to be in less than 30 seconds about to commence the second half of our second game.
Will it be as exciting as the first half?
Well, it better already be, because that first half was killer. No filler. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's so close. It's 68 to North Wales. It's 52 to Sheffield. And Sheffield had a slight advantage on Leeds in that first half. 13 Leeds to 11 for North Wales. Yet North Wales are ahead on points.
I mean, that's true. It's like you can look at tactics and stats and understand what has or hasn't happened. But it's the points on the scoreboard that'll count. But the play has been awesome between both teams. We've had the luxury of some technology here, so we can have a per view of how the penalties have been, because we've mentioned obviously several times where we've had jammers go to the box. Sheffield's jammer's gone a few more times, twice more than South Wales's did. But it's a nice even spread. Everyone's got a few penalties. No one's been extra naughty just yet.
So if a skater gets 7 penalties, they foul out. Is there anyone in danger of fouling out?
No. And let's hope no one does.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wish that on anybody. So we have commenced the second half of our second game. Kicking off now. Proper scrum. Everybody on track. No one's in the penalty box. Both jammers are available. We've got Merrill Streak yet again donning the star. But that's Gempire State for Sheffield out and lead. And straight away, star pass from Merrill. Maz getting checked by Petra. Petra staying on their wheels.
Petra's staying on their wheels, but it looks like Petra must have just put a toe stop out of bounds, because Maz was able to return in front of Petra.
But looks like we tried for a call-off there, but we unfortunately got a cut on Sheffield's jammer, so we will go the full 2. No one has lead, just as Maz now gets mixed into the back of the pack. Unfortunately, meeting Petra a second time as the first blocker they meet.
So this means that it's going to be a 2-minute jam?
Yes, so a grand opportunity for everyone to get as many points as possible. No pressure on Maz at all now. All on you.
We've only had a couple of jams in the first half where both teams scored. Chances are this will be another one.
And I think we've only had a handful of jams in the first half where it went the full 2 as well. Everybody kept control of the jams that they did gain lean on. Maz now on their second scoring pass. Yet again, last line of defence, it's Petra. Bless them.
But at the back, Gempire State is out of the box and has now completed their initial trip.
Actually, I think they had already done that. They are finishing their first scoring. Maz is on their second, well, technically coming in for their third scoring pass. Bit of a challenge by each jammer. Maz, unfortunately, meeting a free wall, shall I say, of Sheffield's blockers.
But Gempire State also knocked out onto the inside in this case.
Both being reset back behind corner 3, as we have the layout today.
So that's 4 points now. Gempire State's completed that trip, which means it's now 8 points each so far.
Yes.
So far in this jam.
Still lead to North Wales, currently are sitting on 76 to Sheffield's 60. And like that, 2 minutes has gone.
2 minutes has gone. Let's see what the final score here is. It's 11 points each.
Look at that. It's almost like, I mean, and that's nice and polite, but it does mean that effectively nothing has changed other than everybody scored points and has more.
They could have just agreed not to bother skating, just stand around and have a chat.
Actually, I'm glad they didn't, because that was a really nice jam. Some great plays from everybody involved. Good derby for everybody sort of at home or in the venue here.
And we've got Basket Case in Jam 2 here for North Wales.
Wins, though, finding a gap on the inside and is already out. Star stash for Basket Case, trying to find somewhere on the outside line, gone to mid now, and whilst they're finding a space, Wince has whizzed past them on the inside edge.
Lovely footwork there from Wince. That's the sort of footwork that gets you into the Junior World Cup.
Yes, true, that full 4 for Wince as they've gone past, coming right now around for their next second scoring pass. managing to stay inbounds as they were checked to the outside. In the huddle, I'm just trying to work out where Basket Case is. They're right at the back now. They've become obviously
Right at the back, they've removed the helmet cover.
True, there I was trying to scan for a helmet cover and it was hidden away, so they fooled even me.
They fooled you, but they didn't fool the Sheffield blockers, which is who they'd really like to fool.
Just as you say that, though, they found a tiny gap, hair's whisker on the inside apex, and managed to get out, managing for them to, well, begin scoring. And as always, Winskers. Now, I heard what McGee said. I'm going to end the jam.
So that was a 12-0 jam for Sheffield, which takes it down to just 4 points between the teams.
Yes, yeah, yet another high-scoring jam for Sheffield. Absolutely no pressure, but like 12 points has been like proper high so far.
Yeah.
I'd love to see where we can go in the second half, because it's clearly there. When the jammers have that line and flow, they can get points.
I think that shows how competitive it is. We're not getting one jammer just doing laps and laps of the track.
Yes, they've had to find lines. They've had to sort of bounce off walls. Speaking of jammers, it's Slamwise Bambi for North Wales.
And Kimber Scout for Sheffield.
Kimber finds an outside edge. One last blocker, but it's Maz holding them back.
Maz is a strong blocker.
They've been one of my personal favourites so far, having not really heard anything or know much about North Wales. Been very impressed by Maz's performance.
Yeah, Maz has been one of their top blockers all season, throughout the Five Nations season, which they've had to play in to get to this stage.
And as we congrats North Wales on their blockers, Slamwise gets out, has lead, but likewise Kimber Scout hit the star, skipped out, and they're beginning their scoring pass as well, coming round to corner free now, as we have it. Slamwise calling it off. Kimber wasn't quite quick enough, unfortunately, so no further points for Sheffield in that jam, but a further 4, so North Wales can sort of stick their neck out a bit more.
Oh, just a little bit, though. Yeah. There's not a lot in it.
True.
8 points, that's two completed trips through the pack.
And we'll have a nice little bit of a little break now, sort of a timeout called by North Wales.
Oh, let's have a breather.
True.
So to get to this stage, as I was just saying, they've had to play the Five Nations season, and they've been in different divisions, which is why they're meeting here in playoffs. So Sheffield were in the North Division, and North Wales in the West Division, and North Wales won their division.
It's a little confusing, jokingly, that North Wales is in the West Division, but Sheffield's in the North Division.
Yes.
My brain goes, North Wales will surely be in the North Division.
You'd think so.
But they're also from Wales. So, yes, sorry, carry on, my bad. Geography.
So I mean, North Wales had a very successful season. They won all their 3 games, but they were pushed really hard by Manchester, who came second in that division. Sheffield, they came second in the North Division. That was a really competitive division. It was won by Hallam, who are here as well.
If you caught the first game of the day, you would have seen what Hallam can bring. So you clearly seen what was happened to that bracket, who people had to compete against.
But because of that, these two teams, they haven't played each other this year. This is the first time they've faced each other, in fact, since way back in 2016. And who cares what happened in 2016?
Wow, I'm just doing the math. That's like 7 years ago.
7 years ago. I mean, back then, Sheffield won. But, you know, these teams have largely changed since then. There won't be that many players.
True, we've got Meryl Streak for North Wales donning the star.
I mean, Wince has just come up from the juniors. Somehow, I don't think that Wince was playing for Sheffield 7 years ago.
No, I very much doubt it. Well, they've been rather bad. Merrill has banked themselves lead jammer status. Wince is also out. Merrill now coming around for their first scoring pass of this jam. Finds a gap on the inside edge. Great toe work, but I believe that toe work wasn't good enough. They've earned themselves a cut track penalty.
And so Wince has completed the first scoring trip.
Full 4 for them. Now coming around for their second scoring pass. So it's Sheffield now who briefly were doing a passive wall, but now everybody's running away.
The thing is, against some jammers, this fast skating can be really effective. It can wear out the jammer, but Wince is fast. True,
Wince has managed to get through, was slowed down by one remaining Wales blocker, but has come out for the full 4 a second time. Looks like the Sheffield's wall has managed to catch a lone Wales blocker, but they've managed to break free as Wince comes round, as the sort of a shift in weight.
Oh, but got knocked to the inside there. And actually, yeah, Wince taking their time to come round again.
Nice spinneroonie and slide there for Merrill as they've come out and banked themselves 4 points for a scoring pass.
Wince is through again, though.
So we're now up to, I believe, 12, and with still just under 30 seconds, can Wince get themselves more and potentially get us one of the highest scoring jams for Sheffield this game?
I'm keeping my eye on the overall game score as well.
True.
There's
Again,
still points to be awarded here.
unfortunately, as I give praise to Wince, I'm trying to work out, oh, they've been deeply reset, dragged back now as they almost got to the front. Clock's running to time by the looks of it. Wince fans, an inside edge gets another full
Another 4 points.
And there we have it. Full 2 minutes.
Oh, and a bit of a tumble right at the end of the jam there.
16 points for Wince, and just to add clarity, that it is officially our highest scoring jam of the game.
Oh, and 7 points there for North Wales, which means it's a 1 point game. Sheffield have taken the lead.
My word. So there we have a proper lead change. I just heard it over the house announcers getting very excited. Hope you are at home. We're ever so close to centuries for either team. We do start with a slight disadvantage for Sheffield. I've got 2 of their blockers in the box at this present time. So
but they're doing a good job of holding back Gog Complex there at the back for North Wales.
We lose Gempire State to a forearms penalty just at the same time as we lose one of Wales's. So only 2 on, doing their best to hold.
Petra making it difficult. And Luna, despite the fact Gog's got lead, Luna recycling Gog.
Gog has got lead, but is still stuck and has only now just got out to potentially begin a scoring pass.
Only 1 Sheffield blocker on track, Luna being remarkably effective for a lone blocker.
Thankfully, just as you say that, 2 of Sheffield's blockers will now join, maybe giving Luna a bit of a respite as they do their best to hold Gog back. Pack got stretched out.
I mean, isn't that amazing? 1 blocker on track manages to knock out the opposing jammer.
A strung out pack there by Wales. Might not have been the most sensible play given what was happening. All on now. More blockers coming from Pack.
And Gog is finally out the front there, securing those 4 points.
Huge praise there for Luna for just like basically playing that entire pass. That was their pass.
Incredible. I mean, it's a bit of a nightmare situation as a blocker being the only blocker from your team on track.
But at the same time, not caving under that pressure at all.
Absolutely. Amazing work.
So, looks like, by the looks of it, Gempire got a call as they got checked to the outside.
It looks like a low block.
Ooh. I can see Sheffield's bench is quizzing stuff with our head official.
Pointing to where various things might have happened on track.
Yes. Unfortunately, I can't read their lips because our head official's helmet was perfectly obscuring the bench's place. We do mean we have, I can see it from the penalty box.
Yeah, with 8 points in that jam, North Wales have retaken the lead.
And we've had a timeout called by Sheffield as well to observe that we've currently got a blocker and a jammer for Sheffield in the box, 1 for North Wales.
So this could be a good opportunity for North Wales to extend that lead.
Well, for me, they're 2 points away from the big 100, mate. That's
the big century.
Yeah, that's what matters. You want to get
the
there.
ton.
That's what feels cool. I mean, same respect.
Do I know any other words for 100?
There's probably some extra Cockney rhyming slang that we probably could have brought into it. But yeah, likewise, Sheffield are only 9 points away themselves. So given what we've seen jammers are capable of, this next jam, both teams could tip over the century mark.
They could do. We've still got 20 minutes left as well, so they don't have to do it in this jam. There's plenty of time for this all to change.
I would like them to do it because I want what I want now.
You're not a patient man.
No, quite frankly.
Okay, Sheffield returning to the track. Just as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, it'd be rather bad not to field any skaters at all for the next jam.
It does happen occasionally.
But, given what we've seen Luna on their own is capable of, even though you would say, oh, Sheffield started at a disadvantage in this jam. A disadvantage doesn't seem to be a disadvantage from Sheffield's point of view.
Yep, and well, let's see what North Wales can do. They're fielding basket case.
Obviously, they've managed to pin basket with just a 2-wall at the front, really slowing down. Likewise, Sheffield's pivots just doing their best to sort of...
Really effective 2-wall there. And Luna, no, not Luna, it was Machine Gunby holding on for a bit, but now basket case has got lead.
I think the key thing to take a note of there, they took about a good full 20 seconds for basket case to get lead when they would have seen, I've only got 3 skaters to get past. This should be pretty straightforward. We have had nearly everybody released from the box. Gempire's still got a few more moments of
nearly
respite.
everybody, but yeah, it's that jammer who's still in the box, and that's the worst member of your team to have in the box. You can't be scoring any points while your jammer's in the box.
We've only just managed to get Basket Case out, completing their first scoring pass, banking their points, leaving Gempire in.
So Gempire State is still in the box, going to be starting the next jam in the box. They had removed the helmet cover. They put it back on because they know if they start the jam with the helmet cover on, there's a chance they might get out and get lead.
True, yes, but inversely, Basket managed to only get a 4-point pass, but that 4 points converted that into 102 points. North Wales have broken the century mark. Sheffield, as I said before, have only got 9 points to do that themselves.
Could happen in this jam.
Start of a lone jammer, Meryl Street grabbing the star for North Wales.
And Gempire State is standing in the box, so she will be returning to the track shortly.
Now,
shortly is now.
We did have a really strung out pack there, so we did lose one of Sheffield's skaters due to an out of play call. Meryl gets the lead, but that was another full, basically.
And Petra also an out of play, so Sheffield's losing quite a few skaters to the box here now.
I would argue, though, as late as that call might have been, that really slowed Meryl's stride down in that respect, holding them back, slowing the game enough, maybe, because we have gained Gempire on track now. So at least Sheffield are in a position to begin, scoring at some point.
Yeah, and Gempire not sure whether or not she'd cut the track there, so decided to sensibly get out of bounds quickly, go to the back, be safe.
Unfortunately, with only 2 remaining blockers, Meryl was able to find an easy sort of line through, completing that prior pass. So that's 8 points in total so far this jam, another 4 there for Meryl. So they're up to 12. Now, given the stride they're in, I feel like Meryl wants to sort of challenge Wince's prior top-scoring jam status for this game.
Yeah, and North Wales making it really tough for Gempire State, who's done a star pass to Petra.
Right, so let's see what Petra can bring to the equation.
Yeah, Petra's out of the box, clearly got some energy because she is straight through the pack.
True, now in a position to score. Less than 30 seconds remaining. So Meryl wisely banks everything they've earned, but what did they ultimately earn?
We're going to find out in a second. 15 points for North Wales.
It's not to be turned up at. That's an impressive turn there. Extending their current lead, 117 to North Wales. Sheffield staying at 91 currently.
But they're going to get that century at any jam now.
True. We're just taking ourselves a quick official timeout. Hence our jam timer sort of looks like they're sort of doing like invisible weightlifting there, showing a gun show. But they are that's genuinely what you do as a jam timer to show we're an official timeout.
And so the officials having a chat in the middle, possibly they're discussing some play that they saw. Was it legal? Could there be a penalty there? Yeah,
I mean that's the thing. Like, regardless of where you are as an announcer, like unless you're also got eyes of a hawk or somehow are hovering above the track and able to see everything in a godly way, you are always a bit alone. I have had a few times though in some games when the head ref has called for an official timeout just to get everyone together to take a breather. And like we've huddled together and gone, we're going to look like we're chatting and let everyone have a bit of water, and I'm going to look like I'm saying something important just so we can get our breath back, because it's been a fast-paced, intense game.
It's a hot day today. Sometimes you do just need that breather.
So sort of a tactical official timeout. Look, so you can obviously see them having a power there, but all they could be saying is like, right, so what are we doing at full time? Who's getting a coffee? Do you want to get some sandwiches? Well, we don't know.
I could go for a coffee and a sandwich. That sounds nice.
And by proxy, taking this official timeout does give our skaters like a bit to catch their breath, because I would argue, given how intense the action has been, the only skaters who've gotten a chance to their breath are those that have had a chance to sit down in the penalty box.
Yeah, not a good reason to pick up a penalty though.
But a 30-second breather, I know with a few jammers, they kind of welcome it just to recenter themselves.
It looks like we're just about ready to start.
Yeah, everyone seems to be in position and eager to go. We've had the shout from our in-house jam timer.
Right, let's see who we've got on for the teams here. For North Wales, they've got Slamwise Bambi jamming.
And buried away at the back there, Wince with the star for Sheffield. They found themselves lovely little spinneroony, but unfortunately not good enough.
Slamwise through on the inside.
I was about to compliment all of the footwear there from Wince, but in the blind side out there.
It's definitely great footwork from Wince, but sometimes the blocking is strong enough, it doesn't work.
And that's a fantastic drag back by Maz there. completely been Wince's nemesis for all of this game so far.
Maz just went a little bit too far back there, got called out of play, which allowed Wince to come back on in front of her.
I saw them took that inside line nice and fast as well. Now, Slamwise is caught in the middle and thankfully glanced around and saw in the rearview mirror, oh, there's a Wince there, I best call this jam off.
Great timing, yes, great timing to do that, and I can see the Sheffield bench applauding that call off.
Just like it was said, in, I believe, by Meatloaf, objects in the rearview mirror do look closer than they are. Please call off when you can see a jammer in your peripherals.
Yeah, Sheffield bench really pleased to see the pressure put on there by Wince. But that is now 6 leads in a row, I'm hearing, from North Wales.
Yes, that's great control by them. They've obviously got the lead. They've got in terms of score, they've managed to keep sort of a lead status.
But this one will not be a lead for North Wales because Merrill Streak has a back block penalty.
It's just the continuing announcer's curse. The second you point out something cool and awesome, something bad happens for that team. Comics Land's getting out with a nice side straddle there to get themselves lead status.
So this is a great opportunity for Sheffield. They've been looking to hit that 100 for a few jams now.
Slam wanting an aggressive play, shouting at their teammates to give them an opportunity to go through. That strung the pack out and whizzed them through for the full 4, and they've instantly banked it to keep North Wales' jammer in the box for the next jam.
Could be a good tactic, gives them a power jam start if they can get through quickly enough. But Sheffield are calling for an official review.
Yes, you get one per half, or potentially a second one if you're extra lucky. So I'll be very curious to know what Sheffield wants to review, because I felt that jam went very smoothly for them. I thought that they got the lead that they wanted. They banked it. They're starting the next jam with the opposing jammer in the box. So yeah.
So what I notice is that we've still got 15 minutes of this half left. If they lose this official review, that's it for the half. So they must be feeling pretty confident that they've spotted something.
Yes, I have. Of the games I've officiated where Sheffield have been playing, I have noticed their bench is kind of astute and doesn't sort of cash in their official review willy-nilly, shall we say. They feel reasonably confident that I want to challenge this.
That's it. You don't want to waste those official reviews. So if if it's something a bit speculative, probably best to just come in and have a chat, as you've seen the Sheffield bench has done a few times.
Although I've officiated many a game where opposing benches have decided just to come in and sort of talk at the head ref a lot to the degree it's like
can do it too much.
Yes, like I've spent more time chatting at the bench than I have actually officiated this game.
So the officials having a bit of a chat. Who saw what? Did they see enough to make a different decision?
Yes.
On whatever it is that's being challenged? We'll find out in a minute or two what exactly it is that's being challenged.
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield currently 5 points away from a possible century. North Wales, though, proper extending the lead that they had, midway through the first half. Sort of establishing their position with 123 on the board. But
then Sheffield closed up. They briefly retook the lead. There's enough time they could do it again.
I would admit both teams have played sort of almost a concertina game. As soon as one stretches out, the opposing team catches up and causes them to have to compact together. So, which is good, because that's what I love about this sport, is that the play keeps changing back and forth. The score is always updated. I know a lot of my family are ardent sort of supporters of Aston Villa, the football team, family coming from Birmingham. But I tend to find a lot of football, it'll come down to, we won by 1, and there was only 1 goal. And it's and we waited 90 minutes for the goal. I mean, I get it. There's score all the time happening with roller derby. Every 2 minutes, more points are on the board. So I find it way more dynamic, and I really love the energy this sport can bring.
Yeah, I've seen some low-scoring games, but 1-0, it's not going to happen. I
tend to find with low-scoring games, it's because you've seen some exceptional blocking.
Absolutely.
So you've still seen a great game.
And I tell you what, there's been some exceptional blocking in this game. I've been really impressed with some of the work.
Right, well, apparently just been informed that Sheffield were calling for an insubordination penalty for Wales' jammer for getting a penalty in turn 1, but leaving turn 2. No decision was made due to the pack being in the way. So Sheffield's bench might have had a better advantage point to see something, but the ref said, look, we couldn't catch it. Speaking of better vantage point, it's Wince with the star, Spinneroonie rounding and straight away out.
And Merrill Streak is back on track, but now, of course, no opportunity to turn lead.
Yes.
Earn lead.
True, they're just now beginning their initial passing.
Ooh.
My word.
That was a big hit Merrill went in for, didn't pay off.
Cheryl there just was like, pop, right in front of us. It was almost
Cherry,
in our laps.
really solid blocking, absolutely.
Wins got the full 4 with that first scoring pass, coming back round for their second. Unfortunately, coming in a bit too hot on getting themselves a back block penalty. So we will go the full 4, just as Merrill's now begun their first scoring pass coming round now. So all open. Wins did manage to bank so far 4 points on their prior pass, getting them to 99.
So Merrill just slipped over as she approached the pack there.
We have
decided to do a star pass.
Right, so we've now got Maz, pivot turned jammer for this jam.
Yeah, Maz is a strong jammer for North Wales. Hasn't been one of their main rotation. Hasn't been on quite as much in this game, but proving really effective there, straight through the pack.
Well, you say that, but they've been an amazing blocker as well. So
absolutely.
What can Maz not do? I mean, did they officiate? Did they bench? Please don't announce. You're doing everything, mate. So with all of that, Wins is now back on. That's allowed them to complete a prior scoring pass, banking them a further 4, putting them to 8, but has also meant that Sheffield has now broke the century barrier as well.
Oh, so interesting there. So Maz through at the same time as Wince, but Wince has received a cut track penalty back in the box.
Just as I praise their scoring there back again, we've got precious seconds left of this jam. Maz,
another scoring trip for Maz, really racking up the points here.
Helping Maz to contribute to a current 15 points in total, it appears, for North Wales.
I think this is going to be the highest scoring jam of the game for North Wales.
Well, with the additional 4 that they just managed to creep in over the precious few seconds, Maz managed to get 19 points in that jam.
19 points.
1-9.
That's a lot of points.
That's true, and I think that now is officially the highest scoring jam of the game so far. Not to turn their nose up at it, though, but Sheffield managed to bang 12.
Does that mean?
They have. As I mentioned earlier, they too have broke the century mark. 107 to Sheffield, 142, though, to North Wales. Both teams breaking that barrier. So certainly that's a sort of great sense of like moral victory, like we've done it. And it's still very close. If I've got this math quite right, that's only a 34-point difference, between a 36-point difference, sorry, between both teams. So you know,
just a slight adjustment in the score there. Yeah. It's Sheffield now on 106. They've obviously had a bit of communication about the exact number of points scored there.
Nice catch, MC. Thank you for that.
So God Complex is jamming for North Wales.
Wins, though, starting in the box, hence why you see no one with the orange star in our lineup, just off camera.
But Wince is back on track, and we'll be hoping that they might be able to get through in time to get lead.
True, this slow start that we've had, Sheffield sort of holding GOG back. Potentially to Wince's advantage. They are finding a way through the midline. Last bit of pizza wall defence from Wales. 2, maybe 3 blockers remaining.
But GOG is stuck at the back. If she can get through this Sheffield wall, then maybe she'll have a chance. But it's a strong wall.
Wince does manage to find an edge on the inside line, out with themselves being lead, coming right round as fast as lightning to begin their first scoring pass of this jam. We appear to have had a star pass by Wales. So GOG Complex no longer, and I'm just glancing, it appears to be Angel with Diamonds would be your now sort of jammer.
And that was just as well, because GOG Complex has been sent to the box, but has gone as a blocker because they successfully completed.
Jam has been called. I think there's confusion. Maybe the star pass wasn't legit because GOG is sitting in the jammer spot, and the star was thrown to them, so they are officially sitting as jammer.
Interesting.
So we now start with North Wales in the penalty box. Only 4 more points for Sheffield, 110 to 142.
But Sheffield are going to start on a power jam, so maybe this is the opportunity they've been looking for.
Yeah, they've fielded comic slams. They seem to be doing a pivot line start, although Maz in the midfield there, doing their best to sort of catch a slam as early as possible, and it's kind of working at the moment for Wales.
It kind of is, but they're moving pretty fast, and it's tougher to block when you're going fast.
True. Took till corner 3 for slams to get out, but they are officially lead now. Glancing over, GOG is stood, so pressure's on to try to get some points, maybe bank them quick. GOG is now out, but so is Petra. Everybody's out of the penalty box.
Lovely footwear there footwork from Comic Slams. I thought she was going down, but no, she retained her feet and got through for another 4 points.
Now, GOG has officially done a star pass now to Maz. We've seen Maz as our highest scoring jammer, so can they bring it? But of course, just as I say that, Comic Slams cashes in their lead status, keeping North Wales at 0 points for this jam. 5 more points for Sheffield.
Yeah, Sheffield only managed to get 1 point on that second trip through the pack.
But 1 point is still a point.
Second scoring trip, it's still a point. They're still closing that gap a little. And there's still time.
Yes, just over 10 minutes remaining of this second half. As we've seen so far, absolutely anything can happen to this score.
Well, I mean, we've already seen a 19-point jam.
Anything can happen in these next 2 minutes. We start with Samwise Bambi for North Wales.
And Wince is back on for Sheffield.
Wince trying to find a gap on the inside edge, meeting a 2-wall in mid. Same time met with Slamwise. Slamwise, though, finds the inside edge and gets out and becomes lead jammer.
Wince has removed their helmet cover. Are they going to do a star pass? Is it just to confuse the opposition?
They have. Star pass has been official now. We've switched over, and I believe Gemma is your pivot turn jammer for Sheffield.
Well, that was effective. Gemma out of the pack. Coming through, not lead, of course, but putting the pressure on. Will they manage to score?
Question is Samwise aware that the star pass has happened and Gemma is now fighting through, earning points for Sheffield?
It doesn't look like it.
Slamwise getting deeply reset, unfortunately. Only now to come back through this entire free wall of Sheffield skaters.
So Gemma's now scoring for Sheffield, but finding it tough at the front there. But one of their teammates manages to clear blocker out the way. That's helpful.
Slamwise, though, found an inside edge and has got out to bank 4 points for North Wales.
And Gemma's now through as well.
Thank goodness. Must have been proper exhausted after that lengthy fight to get through from like effectively corner 2 all the way through to the midway, starting lineup straight.
And the call-off there, did Gemma get any points before the call-off?
Great play there, though. Backward slide there, popping their hips out. But unfortunately, Gemma was unable to score any further points with that last scoring pass. 4 for Sheffield, 6 for North Wales.
So that makes the overall score 148 to 119. It's less than 30 points. 2 jams could change that.
So Sheffield have called for a timeout. Rightly so. Recenter your focus, where we're going to go, what we're going to do. Pass out those oranges, which would be appropriate given the colour scheme they're skating in today.
So each team gets 3 timeouts they can call each game,
yep.
And this is the second one Sheffield have called, so they could still do another one in the closing seconds of the game if they want to,
yep.
or sooner if they prefer.
Yep. Keeping us on our toes. They could bank it at any moment, obviously. Not obviously whilst the jam is active, can't be doing that. That'd be a bit crazy trying to call a timeout. Like, I don't want them to score any more points. Stand out.
But that'd be a great tactic if you could do that.
Let's pray they never do. Let's pray. That'd be really confusing, ending a live jam to go into a timeout.
But yeah, Sheffield, I think, obviously regrouping. If I was around the Sheffield bench, I'd be saying, look, you're doing well here. There's time. This could all change.
Yeah, true. They've eked it back. They've cracked that sentry barrier. They've had a lot of plays go their way. They've had some great defence plays to slow stuff down. Whilst all of our officials have been fanning themselves in our centre, bizarrely, all of our skaters decided to do a little hop and a jump. And how have
they got that energy?
What is being put in those half-time oranges? Do we have to get some official testing done of our skaters to make sure that they've got way too much energy? So clean box, so all on track as you can see in this rugby scrim as we start this next jam.
Really quick lead for Gempire State for Sheffield Steel there.
Same line that Gempire took, gave an opportunity for Basket to also take that inside edge. So Gempire, though, beginning their scoring pass, Basket is straight away into the back, but again, did the best, not quite quick enough. So a cheeky 2 for Sheffield.
2-0's a lot better than nothing.
True that.
Just whittling away at that lead.
We've got just over 8 minutes, so if they keep doing that play of get lead, get something, bank it. Might not be the most exciting play for anybody to watch, but it would be the right tactical play to claw back the lead that Wales currently have.
Yeah, I mean, with the format of this event, both teams want the win. It doesn't really matter how much that win is. Win by 1 point is as good as a win by 100 points.
Yes. But lead status has been given to Gog Plongplex, but
Comic Slams is now ahead on the track because Gog Complex slid out.
Living up to their namesake, slamming Gog to the outside edge, giving them the opportunity. So rightly, Gog goes, no, I can call it off, can't I? Maybe Comics doesn't score any points.
I think that was a very wise call off there, just in time, just before Comic got to the back of the pack.
Although that means there's no change in score, that does mean that, from Sheffield's perspective, Wales hadn't scored any more points.
That's true. Yeah,
So-
it's, whereas if Comet hadn't been ahead, or at least in hot pursuit, they would have almost certainly scored 2, 3, 4 points to nil.
Just realising, like, that prior jam just was like blinked and you missed it. I've just realised we were into another jam now. Slamwise Bambi out with the star for North Wales.
And we've got Wince back on for Sheffield.
Wildcat there checking Slamwise to the ground. One last line of defence with Sheffield's pivot, but that wasn't enough to stop Slamwise earning lead status.
Wince near the front though. What can Maz do? Not enough. Went down, so Wince is out as well.
I'll give Maz a pass. They've been quite exceptional all game so far, so I will accept they might be a wee bit tired.
It's all that jumping on the jam line.
Yes, true. Slamwise banks what appears to be just the 1 point they got, but as we've mentioned before, 1 point is more than more than none.
And at this point in the game, that's a really good scoreline for North Wales. It's limiting Sheffield's ability to score. If they can run down this clock, at the moment there's still plenty of time for Sheffield to have a couple of good scoring jams and catch up. But if they can run that clock down, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be really tough for Sheffield.
Which is what both teams seem to want to be doing, which is a little confusing. Comic Slams there. Well, they got the inside line, but it wasn't clean enough to earn themselves lead status. They've been reset to the back. And it looks like basket case has also been done.
Okay, unfortunately, it slid into one of the refs there, so just calling it off to check that they're okay.
True. Obviously, we have the power as officials to call a game for injury based on anyone who's actively on track. You don't have to have skates on, and obviously we generally find it's due to contact-based stuff between our skaters. But given especially our jam refs being so close to the inside edge, that does mean that, somebody gets knocked to the inside, and then that's them getting pinballed potentially towards like maybe one of our inside refs, jam ref, front
Absolutely,
ref.
it can be a bit of a risky position sometimes being a ref on the inside.
True.
But the good thing is we've got 2 qualified medics at every game, and they've had a quick look over the referee, and everything seems to be okay. The refs back on their feet.
You might not be able to catch this because our mics are so good at picking out our voices, but the ref getting back up, and now Spinneroonie showing off that they're doing very well, has actually got the loudest pop from our in-house audience. So God bless them for being so supportive of our officials this morning. So
that referee is Douglas Grave, who plays for New World Order, very experienced player, so got some real skate skills there.
That probably explains a little bit for being so flamboyant with their skating so far. So we're straight back into it. Angel with Diamonds now representing North Wales.
But Kimber Scout for Sheffield is out for lead. This is the kind of thing Sheffield needs at this point in the game.
Yes, I literally blinked to read what was happening on North Wales, and lead was awarded, but precious seconds into this jam. Kimber Scout now back through, beginning their first scoring pass of this jam, but has been deeply reset out of camera shot for you guys at home.
Angel with Diamonds has removed the helmet cover to try and confuse that opposition. At the moment, they're not looking at a star pass, but it's an option for them.
Yeah, Maz is there as North Wales' pivot, so there's a possibility that would make logical sense if Angel couldn't find a line they want.
But both jammers are finding it tough to get through those strong walls.
True, been proper slow down, and just as you potentially predicted, we have had a star pass from Angel to Maz. Maz is now your jammer for North Wales.
And that was really effective. Maz got straight through on the inside line. Sheffield didn't seem to be aware of the star pass to the extent that we were. But obviously, we've got a different perspective here at the side of the track. And that forced the call off.
But that was 4 more points for Sheffield, eking themselves ever closer to North Wales' current lead of 149.
Yeah, so that's only 24 points in it now. And 24 points, that's something you could achieve in one jam.
Well, yes.
I mean, it's not.
I would love it if someone can.
It's not easy.
Let's see if it's this next jam, though, as we have Slamwise Bambi and Comic Slams up, respectively.
Slam.
Unfortunately, we do lose Slam to a forearms.
Which Slam?
Comic Slams. Thanks for catching that.
And Slamwise Bambi, on the other hand, is out as lead.
Now, this is exactly what Wales would want. I'm the only jammer on track. I'm the only one who can score points, and I'm the one who's going through and beginning a scoring pass.
And Sheffield are down a blocker as well. Luna's been sent to the box too.
Luna has proved pivotal, but we, as we've mentioned before, we do glance and see we've got Petra on track. And just like that, Petra straight away in, tag teaming with gemmer there to try to hold. And it does appear that worked, because we have now lost Slamwise.
For cut track there.
So we will go for the full 2 minutes, of which we have just over a minute remaining. Comic Slam's now being released to back on track. We also gain one of Sheffield's other blockers, so they have a full roster on.
But Slamwise Bambi now back on as well. Quite a quick turnaround there.
So both jammers straight away. Slamwise finds the inside line, whilst Comic was stuck between a free wall of Wales's blockers.
But also this means that the jam's going to go the full 2 minutes. Got another 40 seconds to try and score some points. Slamwise Bambi coming up towards the back of the pack, looking to get some points scored.
Huge respect, though, to Wales's blockers, as they've held Comic Slams from effectively the penalty box all the way around to corner 4, and Comics has only just got out to effectively start scoring.
That is a real achievement there. Comic Slam's coming round again. Can she get some of those points on the board that Sheffield are now desperately needing?
Ooh, cheeky apex hop, but they played safe and have reset themselves. So was it legit to score? We won't know until this jam ends.
We don't know. If there's a genuine question over it, there's no problem with the jammer going out of bounds to be on the safe side, going to the back.
So in all of that, Slamwise Bambi get themselves 15 points.
15 points, that's a good total.
Sheffield managed to eke in 3. I can see Sheffield's bench is coming in, potentially quizzing stuff that may or may not have happened, interactions. They are gesturing towards corner 1. So they might be quizzing what had happened with that apex hop, who knows?
But it also means we've now got 36 points between the two teams. We've got just under 2 minutes left in the game. So it's going to be tough for Sheffield, but if they manage to get one decent scoring jam.
Speaking of which, Wince has got themselves lead. Sheffield's had their last remaining blocker released from the pack as Wince whizzes round to begin their scoring pass.
That's exactly the start they want, but Basket Case is now also out for North Wales.
Nice little spinneroonie there by Wince as they get through all the defence from Wales. They seem to want to go for another scoring pass.
Yeah, Sheffield have decided to run the jam by the look of it, hoping that Wince can get a better points differential this way.
What a lovely bean dip on the outside edge there, and by the looks of it, just managed to backward slide on the inside line. All of the footwork, a further 4 from Wince.
Yes, it's a bit of a different tactic here, getting lead, and even though the North Wales jam is in the pack, hoping that Wince will get through more quickly, have more scoring trips, and this is working.
Yeah, that's Wince's third scoring pass. Now, effectively, this makes more sense as I've glanced, as effectively our jam clock and our period clock are kind of neck and neck, so everything Vince can do in this full jam is basically kind of almost it. That's another scoring pass for Vince. That's 4 in total, giving them up to 16. They're coming around now for their 5th scoring pass as they take it backwards.
This is what they need. So Wince is going to keep trying to get scoring trips in, and then most likely the bench will signal for a call-off just before the period clock ends.
Well, we've only got about 30 seconds, so I think they're going to play for time. This is the slowest Wince has been in this entire jam now, stuck behind a free wall of Welsh blockers. We do have jammer at the back called. Now we went to time, and that's a 23-point jam. Unfortunately, as tactical as it might have sounded, they ran out of the clock because they don't have any remaining timeouts left.
Of course.
So
yes.
Now let's see what Wales decide to do. We've had an official timeout, called. It seems that our refs want to clarify something, so
good
that
point.
has
Good
effectively...
point to double check everything's correct. We've just got seconds left on the clock.
Now, obviously, depending on where we go, we may have one final jam after this. The key thing to take away from, though, that was a 23-point jam by Wince.
That was so impressive. 23 points to Wince. North Wales did pick up some points, 7 points, which means that the difference between the teams is now 20 points. If we get another jam, it's possible. It's possible.
I've just been informed that we've had another highest scoring jam of our game.
I'm not surprised. That was incredible.
Literally,
play by
the second
Wince.
someone sets where the bar is, someone else says, "Hold my beer," and then sets the bar higher. And at this point, there's not going to be any beer left at the pub.
I tell you what, there was some brilliant play there. Would you describe it as spicy?
The only disappointment is Wales caught Wince near the end. Now, we are starting at this next potential utter final jam.
Okay, and it looks like we've got Comic Slams on for Sheffield.
Merrill
Who's
Street.
got lead. This is what they need. This is how they've got a chance.
Huge pop from the in-house audience at this lead game. Now, given we've got a 20-point difference and we've seen what wins can do, no pressure at all on Comic Slams. They do find an inside line.
Okay.
That's 4 points. It's only a 16-point difference now.
Merrill has done a star pass by the looks of things.
Yes, Megapixel for the first time is jamming for North Wales.
So we've not seen Megapixel jam. We don't know how...
Absolutely all the pressure on you, mate, now.
Yeah, we don't know. Has she got energy left? How is she at jamming against these strong walls?
True, they are being ricocheted around at the back. Comic Slams is trying to fight through a complete four-wall at the front. Petra coming in to assist.
Yeah, Petra pushing some of those blockers out of the way. Not yet enough.
Four walls turned into a free wall. It's turned into a two-wall, but Megapixel is out.
Forcing that call off from Comic Slams.
So
it's a strong effort, though.
It's a further 4 to Comic Slams. 8 points in total. Our current unofficial score is sat at 171 to North Wales, 159 to Sheffield Steel.
I tell you what, that was an amazing game. It was
True.
back and forth. It was so close. We saw some really strong play, both blockers and jammers in that game.
Absolutely, it was a masterclass at what this sport can completely be. So utter hats off to everybody. There it is. That's the final score. Your winners in our second game today is North Wales Roller Derby on 171 points. They will go through to our finals tomorrow as the winner of our second game.
Yep, so you will see them at 8:30 tomorrow morning. They're going to be taking on Hallam, who won the previous game today.
So yet again, Wales will play a hometown in their hometown. So absolutely no pressure.
Yeah, we've got Sheffield, Hallam and the Inhuman League, all Sheffield-based leagues. And yet, for Sheffield, it didn't prove enough. The home support wasn't enough for them to win, but they didn't half push North Wales close.
Utter congratulations for sort of giving us an excellent second game of roller derby. Please stay with us. Our third game will be coming up at 1 o'clock. It will be Oxford versus Manchester. I've been McGee.
And I think I've been MC.
And thank you for having us. Go get yourself a cup of tea. Bye for now.